Hey guys, welcome to Nifty World. I'm Bex, and in today's video, we're taking you through our Monday movers and shakers. Yep, those top projects that we think might just go to the moon and possibly could even 10x your investment. So stay tuned for everything that we've got to offer and so much more. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to this channel, and of course, hit that all-important notification bell so that you don't miss when these videos drop. And of course, if you have any questions about any of these projects or want to hear from some of the creators that are mentioned in this strand of content, then join us each and every Monday here on Twitter Spaces, wherever you are in the world, so that you can ask any questions that you've got. And remember, no question is too small. But for now, let's dive right in. Right, joining me now, as ever, is the wonderful Warren Lincoln, who is an esports expert and NFT expert as well, which is fantastic to have him on board. And today we are obviously looking at projects that could 10x your investment. We are always looking for those big golden eggs of an NFT project. And you know what? It's still October. It's still the season for Halloween. And the thing that we're kicking off with first is something that totally fits in with this sentiment and has an amazing team behind it. And that's why we've got our backing for this project. It's called Monsters Bash. Warren, we're excited about this one, aren't we?
So they put the Crypt in crypto. That's the name that they're going with. Yeah, super excited. I mean, the project's launched, right? So we're still early on with the project itself. They've only got, I think, around 1.2 thousand items existing currently in the inventory on OpenSea. So their idea and their approach very much is kind of do quite slow, phased, meticulous rollout of.
That's our impression of it at the moment, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. Or so currently it looks. I mean, when they started as well, just some commercials as well, Bex, for you and the wider viewers. They came out to market with the kind of intent to have a 0.8 ETH approach, which was, I think, that approximately sat around the kind of $280 mark. As we speak right now, that floor price, that barrier to entry, is actually 0.4. So $144.
0.04.
0.04.
Yeah, good. So it's dropped. So that's actually quite a good thing. So if we want to get in early for it, then we're slightly, there might be an opportunity for you to do your research on certain aspects of it. So you might be able to find, maybe someone's dropped into OpenSea, doesn't really know what they're doing. If you do some research in terms of the rarities and stuff, you might be able to bag yourself a bit of a golden egg with this one because you've got that time. And we've seen it with a lot of bigger projects, even the amazing Boss Beauties that we are very much invested in at the moment. The floor is changing at an early stage. So you just have to look out for those days like today where the floor is quite low.
Yeah, absolutely. And actually, I've had a look already and kind of on the active assets that are available. There are some witches you can cop, which isn't a bad time to be buying a witch. Within the 1.2 thousand that we've already seen that are available, though, there's only 75 from a rarity perspective of witches, which, I mean, if you can grab one for 0.03 or somewhere thereabouts, that could potentially be another 10x job, right? Because what you're looking at is, as more assets get released, the market starts to get busier, more user adoption, user profile starts to grow. And so then we kind of see that snowball effect of value. Yeah.
And what I like about this is that, so I think there are static images of these monsters, but I also love the GIFs, right? Which are, you start off with this kind of very much like old school Universal Studios kind of horror, Wolfman kind of feel to it. It's very nostalgic, the look and feel of it. And then so you start off with like a normal person, but the GIF then transforms it into a classic monster. And I think that's a really clever element to it.
Yeah, so similar to, as you probably recall, with the Bored Ape yacht community and kind of how they went about things, you bought the ape and then you actually had to buy the serum to then change it into the mutant kind of meta, if you like, at the end. Well, you don't have that same approach here. Like it's a phase throughout this asset you're purchasing. So for me, an NFT, it's always about what the artwork does now, but also what it can do later on.
Yeah, absolutely. And also the thing that I love about this, so I did mention this as we introduced it, the team behind it is stellar, right? And it is led by NFT Ignition, who you might recognize from Twitter, who is Danielle. She is one of the co-founders of this. She's actually also one of the ladies and co-founders of the Fame Lady Squad, the historic first profile picture, female-led profile picture NFT out there, and that's come through adversity and risen up through like a phoenix from the ashes, and has come back and is one of the most important NFTs out there at the moment. So in terms of the credibility, you know, making sure that there isn't like a rug pull or anything behind this, I think it's really important to know who the team are behind the project. And actually what we would always encourage you to do is check out the website, see who the team is, follow them on Twitter, speak to them on the Discord, get to know them before you fully invest in this. And this is what we've been doing behind the scenes to kind of help understand this. And the other thing that I want to say is that I've approached Danielle and asked her to come and join our Twitter space today, which so she will be talking about this. So you can ask any questions that you have. Obviously, this video is going live earlier in the day, and then we have our Twitter space, which is happening at 6:30 GMT, and you can see all of the times right here, so that wherever you are in the world, you can come and join. We always bring great creators from fantastic projects to come and join us in this Twitter space, and we'd love you guys to join too. It's each and every Monday. But yeah, Danielle will be talking there. If you have any questions, if you can't make that Twitter space, we can always ask that for you, so leave a comment below as well. But for me, like, I think a big question that people will have about this project, Warren, is that it's a seasonal project, isn't it? Because it's Halloween, but then equally, we always talk about the fact that the NFT world moves so quickly. So even though it's like the whole month of October, a lot can change in October, and this could skyrocket throughout that time because of its seasonality.
Yeah, and also consider, right, Monsters Bash as a project. Well, there may be other roadmap plans that we don't know about that are coming down the road as well that could kind of transition the utility of that NFT and what their broader plans are. Like you said, it's underpinned by really credible, great people in the space that are behind already amazing established projects, which kind of negate the concern around, you know, the rug getting pulled, as it were. Like Bex has said, you know, we are big fans of this project because of the people that are behind it. But we aren't financial advisors, and we always encourage people to do your own research when you're looking to invest, and only look at investing things which, you know, you think are reasonable, that you can afford.
Yeah, absolutely. We're here to give advice and answer any questions and help you on your journey, but we're not making those decisions for you. That is all up to you guys. Right. So Monsters Bash, minting at 0.08. It's available now, so you can buy it. It's doing a slow timed release. If you're wanting to be a little bit more thorough and see exactly what you're getting, head on to OpenSea. The floor price is changing at this time of filming. It is actually just 0.04, so you might be able to bag yourself a bargain. But if you want to get in with the mint lottery, there's still time. Go onto the website. All the details are in the description below. And yeah, enjoy having some fun this Halloween season with that. Right, let's move straight on to a Solana project. This is our second one. This is Project Eluune, which sounds like, you know, something along the lines that I would expect from the new movie Dune that's coming out here in the UK very soon. So is this as sci-fi and spacious as we can imagine?
Yeah, so like I've said kind of before, you know, I'm a big fan of any project that's going to have some level of gamification to it. Project Eluune certainly looks like it's going to demonstrate that. Current idea is that they've actually got, I think it's around 7,000 or just over 7,000 collectible lands. And within the asset that you purchase, the NFT, there'll be a unique utility which effectively is stored on the Solana blockchain. We're looking at them, and they're called Star Gardens. So the idea is that you effectively purchase these founding Star Gardens, and then you can use them in what will be a Star Garden game, which is so cool, and it kind of talks to everything that I absolutely love.
Yeah, and that's interesting. So the reason why we like to bring a Solana project up here is because, firstly, the artwork.
No gas.
There's no gas. I was building up to that one, Warren. There's no gas, but also outside of that, you know, Ethereum and everything that you see on OpenSea and other sort of more well-known markets are great. However, Solana is coming up fast, and you know, the projects are getting better, and there's kind of still a historic aspect to it. So you might be in early just by being part of the Solana blockchain, and that might work in your favor when investing in an NFT within that particular blockchain. However, I know people are a little bit like, oh, that means I have to go and buy Sol, and then it's done in a completely different different way. But actually, you know, I've found that Sol has been, you know, I've had some Sol sat in my wallet for a while and it's increased, and it's been good to just have it there. And just if a good project comes along, it's quick and easy to use. There's no gas, like we say, but also, you know, things are being sold maybe at around the 1 or 2 Sol price point, which is kind of around, you know, for us in the UK, that's probably around £180, which is probably about $220 or so, which is a mid-range price point, I would have thought, for this.
Yeah, so for me, I'm always looking at what are those kind of reasonable investments that we can look behind. So yeah, just because it's a different currency, that shouldn't put people off. We're always encouraging people to do the research, you know, look at how the best way to invest will be for them, make sure their wallet is topped up. But again, negating the issues of gas outpricing you, it's nice to be able to get behind a project, which if you love games like me, it's a good one to look at.
Yeah, absolutely. So what is the price point for this, just so I'm clear?
Yeah, so as it stands right now, there has not been a price point that's been set. The approach currently, which Project Eluune are taking, is that the pricing and also the date of the mint release is going to be happening imminently. Although they've said watch your space, they're keeping me on tenterhooks.
Okay, that's interesting, because I think, you know, again, this might be a good little early bird for you guys to get in with. So what we're advising that you do at this stage is, obviously we're giving you the heads up for it. Get involved in the Discord, follow them on Twitter, start learning what the options are for you and whether or not this is the right direction that you want to be going in. However, the amount of people that are already getting behind this project would suggest that it's going to be pretty hyped and it's going to be doing really well. Isn't that correct?
Absolutely right.
Yeah. Okay. Fantastic. Right. So that sounds like a good one. Good artwork, something that saves you on gas. I'm really liking that project. Let's move on as well to the third one on our list today, which is Nova Creed. So we're expecting about 12,000 of these NFTs to be released. And these are being released at some point in the financial year, well, Q4 of the financial year. So again, a little bit, I suppose, a little bit sort of vague in terms of the exact drop date on these.
Yeah, so Nova Creed are, although there's a couple of things for me which are really, really interesting. So I would have mentioned as well that the kind of the pre and the post mint are still to be confirmed, although this particular project, Bex, it will be ETH. It's not going to be a Sol project. Mm-hmm. So behind
can we hazard a guess what the pricing might be on this?
Okay, I'm gonna back the horse 0.07. That's where I'm gonna be guesstimating they'll come to market. Can't wait to see what the reality will be to reflect on this video.
Well, yeah, but you know what? I think that's a fair price. When it's a new project going to mint, you think between 0.06, 0.08 is a fair price for anyone. So it's a good kind of entry level to get into. And I think, you know, if this is kind of imminently releasing, we're not seeing any drastic change in that from mint prices from general projects, even like big hyped projects like the Sevens, or, you know, as we talked about last week, the Shogun Samurais, like we're sitting at a decent price point with these. So we would expect it to be somewhere within that range. So, you know, we're not trying to bring you something that's going to be only on secondary market and you're having to spend an ETH. So it's, yeah, this is something more affordable.
Absolutely right. So a little bit of background. They've got a credible team. I think they also reference a UK CEO that's behind a major startup. So they've got some strong caliber. But for me though, Luella Jane, so she's known as an artist that's created work behind the likes of BBC, Nickelodeon, Cartoon Network. So you've got incredible caliber coming to this NFT approach, which for 12,000 assets, you really want to see that creativity come through with what you're purchasing. But also, you know, their particular approach is that there's a gamification or utility side to this NFT. Mm-hmm. The backstory, it's 2420, civilizations across the galaxy suffering a series of environmental disasters. You know, it kind of talks a little bit to the challenges that we have at the moment, but also it's about working together as a team, and it's about racing, right? And it's about getting to a series of solutions which, as a team, through this utility, it's great to be doing something which isn't just you siloed. It's good to be working more across the community as well.
Yeah, that's brilliant. And I think, for all of these projects today, I think there's a gamification element to each and every one of them, which is, we're not necessarily saying that these are players you earn, but there is going to be some sort of element that might work for you as a benefited utility in the future. So I don't think we quite mentioned this with Monsters Bash, but there is like a tournament phase with Monsters Bash where you can fight your monsters against each other, isn't there?
That's right. Yeah. So for Monsters Bash, they're looking at that kind of that competition style approach, which is great when you know that your NFT is not just something sitting in your wallet, it's actively doing something for you, or can engage in a different type of activity, which in turn can increase its attributes, can increase its value. And obviously what I think all these smart projects look to do is how can they increase the initial attribute, which increases its value in the secondary market, which is what all hold on for dear lifers look to try and do.
Yeah, absolutely. And also, look, guys, for any of us who are of a certain vintage, I would say, remember when we were in the playgrounds and we were, playing Pogs or Pokemon cards or Top Trumps or any of that kind of stuff. This is the digital version of that. So anything that has like a gamification element into it right now, you may not get how it works, you may not fully understand it, but it is a smart play to get involved in anything that's offering that as a utility, because as that evolves and offers you more and more stuff, you may not think you have a valuable NFT right now, but actually what you might be holding on to is a real trump card that you might need in the future, which is fantastic.
Bex is spot on. It's a little bit like conkers. Thankfully, these don't break.
Yeah. Okay, so our final pick for this week is a bonus pick. It's actually a featured NFT project, which we wanted to bring to you today. It's called Metaminds. And Warren, walk us through Metaminds, because we've been speaking to the wonderful people behind this project, and they're really passionate about mental health. And, this is an NFT extension of that passion, isn't it?
Yeah, so what they've effectively come up with are sort of 6,000 generative different pieces of art with a number of separate different rarities existing on the Ethereum blockchain in the kind of the ERC-721 token, which we know and love and used to. The approach that they've taken is effectively, COVID's been tough for a lot of people, and it's kind of broken those connections. The Metamind ideology is to how do you kind of bring people back together again, and so the utilities that they're specifically focusing around, and the utility which I think will benefit us in the real world, are well-being, personal development, mental health, people being available from a kind of a therapist perspective, sitting in the likes of a Discord that you can reach out to, you can have those conversations without judgment. And it's really cool because you've got that outlet of direct conversation with people that are specifically with their profession of understanding how to look at those triggers, help people give good advice. I think it's a close one for us, myself and you, Bex, because when you are working from home as much as we've done over the last 24 months, it's great to have that outlet and that availability.
Yeah. And I think, if you're thinking about the NFT space and the community that's there, a number of people have been very open about the fact that actually they found a lot of solace in the NFT space in terms of their mental health. They found purpose. They found a community that's very generous and very positive. And actually, it was only a matter of time before someone thought to turn an NFT into something that has utilities to really support all of this. And I think it's fantastic. So Metaminds is the name of the NFT. What it also is something that I think is going to encourage you to just give back as well, right? And to support a cause that is going to be affecting so many people out there. So this is kind of, I've talked in other videos about creating an NFT with a cause and how important that is for the trust and authenticity of your particular project. And this Metaminds does just that. And it's the cause is at the heart of what it is, rather than just saying, I'm going to make an NFT with some pretty pictures or anything like that. It's actually what is the through line through the project. So the team is from Dubai. They are a fantastic team which are working really hard and have been in this industry of wellbeing for a while now and are really pushing this messaging across. So do we know anything about mint price or any sort of details on this? And because the minting has actually just happened this weekend. There was a pre-sale, there was a mint, but obviously you guys are hearing it relatively early, so you can get in quite early on secondary. What are the details?
Yeah, so there's the way they've kind of staggered this out is that there's benefits and availability and value for the people that are kind of coming still very, very early to the project. Like Bex has just said, we're very recent to it. I wanted to pick up on a couple of things that they're trying to do, and I love this approach, Bex. You're not just investing in the team, but you're investing in the foundations and the things that they sit behind that they want to be able to support. Supporting mental health charities, as well as being able to create almost like a foundation for artists across the planet, for young talent. Like, these are really great initiatives. And so I think the roadmap broadly is kind of when they get to about 25%, they're going to look to create some level of program that rewards community engagement, which is great. And it's the sort of standard thing we'd expect. Between that kind of up to 50%, they're then going to be looking at, pushing out Ethereum to prize holders as well as charity giveaways. I haven't mentioned the fact that also they've secured some VFriends.
So there's going to be benefits for wallet holders.
Right. So already existing holders that sit there, the fact that, you could be the very lucky beneficiary of a Gary V VFriend just because you're in this community, that for me is a no-brainer. And like I always said, we always suggest to people to do their research when you're looking at projects. But if mental health, well-being, and support is something which is important to you, then Metaminds have been able to do that, and they've done that in a really smart way of you taking this NFT utility, investing, and you're part of that community for the life cycle of benefits that it enables other people to do so.
And you know what, just picking up on that, one of our earlier picks from a couple of weeks ago now was the Roaring Leaders, okay? And if you're wondering about what it means to have a pot that fractionalizes for wallet holders, they have a pot which has been announced, I believe, at the end of this week. The pot is $500,000.
Wow.
Yeah, which is just incredible, right? And so that goes out to all of their amazing community. So they'll buy some apes, some VFriends, and things like that. And you will have a fractionalized option to have part of that because you've bought into that NFT. So remember, when you're looking at a utility NFT, if they have things like Metaminds does with a VFriends or some, blue chip considered NFTs in them, that they're in it for the long run and they're looking to give back to their community as well. And that is exactly what Metaminds does. And that's exactly why we think it's a fantastic featured NFT project to put in today's movers and shakers, because we think not only are you giving back to the world of wellness, well-being, mental health, all that kind of stuff, what they're doing is also giving back to you as well.
Absolutely. And we very much hope to be able to kind of cover what they're doing in more detail across the various other places that you'll see Bex and I. We're excited for this. We hope you are too. And it's great to be able to get behind an initiative that is so comprehensive and so sincere.
Well, there you have it, a fantastic array of NFTs, plus a little bonus for you as well. So we hope you've enjoyed all of that we have to offer. Remember, this isn't financial advice. This is just our analysis of the market as it stands week on week. We always encourage you to do your own research, so please make sure that you do. And of course, we're here for any questions if you have them. So don't forget, you can always join our Twitter space, which happens every Monday after each video drops. And of course, please don't forget to like this video, subscribe to this channel, and hit that all-important notification bell so that you don't miss a beat every time a new video drops. But for now, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time.